Yeah, that's fine.
So, Hasmukh, welcome to Education Next podcast. I'm so
Okay.
happy that you're here. And I've been, I became a fan when I learned about your amazing learning space in Maharashtra. And I know it's a bit far from Maharashtra, and I wish one day Adi and I can visit. But before that, please tell us something about your space and all about the learning community that we are building.
Okay. So basically, I'm a scientist. Uh, I have worked on emerging technology for almost 30 years, of which 20 years were abroad. To give you some example, I worked on the world's first internet bank, which was in Atlanta, Georgia. It's called First Network Bank.
Wow.
And we tried several projects. And what I observed is that whatever we did in terms of research, it took a minimum of 10 years for it to get into university, right? Let alone schools were even farther off.
True.
And number two, we did things that people never dreamt of, forget even learning or something like that. So it convinced me that today PhD is the last degree we do, correct? By then, your minds have been narrowed and siloed and all that stuff, and most of your creativity has gone to the dog. And you are basically doing whatever society or the academic institutions are allowing you to do. It's not that what you want to do, it's what they're allowing you to do. And I love working with kids. All my life I have worked with kids and engage them in creative activities. It's not academic activities, it's creative activities.
Okay.
So I thought I need, at some point I need to get to my homeland and start a project where children will start with research and end in fact. Today, you give the children the facts and then PhD is what they do. While here, they will start with research and end in fact. So we are not going to give them the answer. They
Okay.
need to find the answers themselves. Right? So to create that space, I came back, and also I was convinced it has to be done in a forest because nature has been around for billions of years before human beings.
Absolutely.
Human beings are less than 1 million years on the planet, even if we stretch that imagine. And nature has been around for billions of years, not just dumb, because it's smarter than us. And unfortunately, today humanity is way smarter than nature and is trying to destroy it in under the guise of progress. So that has to change. Not for us, but for our progeny, for the future generations to come. I will give an example here. There is a quote by Rabindranath Tagore. A person who plants trees, knowing fully well that he will never get in its shade, has begun to understand the meaning of life. Okay? We are not doing that. They're really saying, okay, what will I get and how soon will I get? Right? We are not our own children. And I have a quote myself. That one is, children are not just our future, they are our only future. If there are no children, there's no future for us.
Correct.
So we better, correct? Humanity has, without children, there is no humanity. It ceases to exist. And unless we behave in a way where we put children first, and again, there is this saying, we don't inherit what we have from our ancestors. We borrow it from our progeny. So we have to act that way. That we are borrowing something, and that has to be done in a very responsible manner.
At least we
Even
can
now, I
take care
have
of
three
it.
topics of research that I.
Yeah.
Pardon?
Yeah. I'm saying at least we can take care
So
of
my
it.
topics of research.
Yeah.
Yes. So my topics of research now are neuroplasticity, biomimicry, and quantum mechanics. So neuroplasticity says that our brains are plastic, and they can be molded, which is a new phenomenon. Conventional neuroscience believe that our brains are hardwired and therefore they can't be changed. So they believe that in a blind person, the visual cortex is dormant. While neuroplasticity believes, and it has been proven, that in a blind person, the visual cortex is used for the sense of touch and the sense of hearing. It's why a blind person has a keener sense of touch and a keener sense of hearing. So these are some of the things that are coming up. So my goal right now is to create a space where children will learn through research, number one, and then end up in fact. To show that, because I say we are trying to create a space which is learning by doing. There's no text here.
Correct.
We are not teaching them anything. We are learning and we're facilitating their learning. That is the whole goal.
Correct.
So let me ask you, I want to install a solar water heater. In which direction should it face? I'm in India. I want to install a solar water heater. In which direction should it face?
Now, I don't know that answer.
No, you take a guess.
Acha, guess. Guess which direction it should face, you're saying?
Yeah.
So, east side?
If it's facing east side, after noon, it will not get any sunlight or minimal sunlight.
Correct.
Correct? It has to face a direction where it gets maximum sunlight.
So, at least in the day, it gets, right?
Even in the day, half a day.
The
east, you will get only half a day.
Yeah, so what direction should we place then?
I'll just take you through the process of how children will learn at EBHLE. So I'm calling it EBHLE, Experience-Based Holistic Learning Environment. It's an acronym, EBHLE.
So
it's learning by doing.
Your voice breaks now and then, a little bit.
How is it now?
Yeah, it's fine. It's fine.
Okay?
Yeah, it's fine.
Okay. So, for this, the answer lies in geography. It doesn't lie in physics.
Acha.
So, which is the hottest spot on the planet, on Earth? Which is the hottest line on Earth? Which line is the hottest? The equator.
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 Yeah.
To the center of the center line on
Correct.
the surface. Now, India is in which hemisphere of the Earth? Northern hemisphere or southern hemisphere?
So many questions. I'm already scared of you.
India is north of the equator. No. So this is how we want kids to learn. So India is in the northern hemisphere. Which means India is north equator. So equator is to our south. The hottest spot on the planet, the line on the planet, is to our south. The hottest spot. So which direction should the solar water heater face?
South side.
Tell me.
South.
South side. Okay. Australia. Which direction should it face?
Say again, if we are in Australia. Ask the... Again, it should face the south side only.
No, Australia, equator is to the north of Australia. Australia is in the southern hemisphere.
Then it should be on the north side.
We are in the northern hemisphere. North side. Okay, now kids are taught, your solar water heater should face south. They have no idea of equator, the process I went through with you.
Correct.
And when they go in Australia, their solar water heater will still face south. Correct? So, there has to be... Right? So, you start with research and you end up with fact.
Yeah.
And I asked you questions. I didn't give you the answer.
Yeah.
And then you arrived at the answer through the question.
Correct.
That is the learning environment we want to create. Okay?
Amazing.
So there is a saying, Richard Feynman, he is a Nobel Prize winning physicist. Correct?
Yes.
I would rather questions I would rather have questions that have no answers, then have answers that have no questions.
Say again, I would rather have questions with no answers than answers.
Then have answers that have questions.
Your voice broke in between, so I think.
Right, if somebody tells you this is the answer and there is no further question to. One minute. Let me just check my internet connection. Sometimes it goes off. Just a second.
Okay, sure.
Hello, are you able to hear me?
Yes, I can hear you. Yeah.
Clearly, right? Right?
Yes.
Okay. So, Richard Feynman said, I would rather have questions that have no answers.
Yes.
Than have answers that have no questions.
Yeah.
Because our learning comes through questions. If you don't have questions, then there is no learning.
Yes. Yes.
Correct?
Yes.
So these are, we're trying to create an environment where kids have freedom to ask questions for which there may or may not be answers. True. Number one. And even if there are answers, we are not giving them the answer. We are asking them questions from which they will find out the answer. Like we did with this water heater.
True. True.
Okay. This one, because of the shortage of time, I am going to just limit my discussion.
Yes. Yes.
And that way, if you want, we can do another session or two.
Sure, we can do that. We can do that, and I'll invite my son also, because your session is very much, Adi will love this more than.
So that is one thing, right? We said that we are starting with research, and then through questions, we are going to the facts.
Correct.
Okay, and I shared an example. Because this is what learning by doing, right? So
yes.
Yes. Then the other thing that is happening in the learning environment today is to make things easier. There are all multiple choice questions. Correct?
Correct.
And for the multiple choice question, can there be more than one correct answer?
Yes, of course, it can be.
But in the exam, that multiple choice question that they ask you, will it have more than one correct answer?
No, most questions are like there'll be only one answer. You have to choose one.
Yeah.
You have to choose one, yeah.
Exactly. Because otherwise they can't correct unless because it is all computerized. It's a computer who says, whether that A is marked or B is marked, wherever the pencil has.
Correct.
So if there are more than one answer to the question, the computer cannot mark the answer sheet.
Yeah, of course. You can't mark two answers on that. Yes.
Yes. Okay. Now, in life, though, can a question have more than one correct answer?
Of course. I think mostly it has more than one answer.
So what are kids learning in school? That there is only one correct answer. And what is life telling you? That there can be more than one correct answer.
Of course.
So when they go out in life and they see that there is more than one correct answer, they get confused.
Yes.
How is it possible? All my 10, 12 years of my schooling, I have learned that there is only one correct answer. And suddenly out of the blue, you are correct.
Ye kya ho raha hai?
What is happening? So for this, again, I have an example. Clasp your hand. Aapka haath. Clasp your hand. Okay. Which thumb is over? Is the right thumb over left or left thumb over right?
Right.
Right thumb is over left. Correct?
Yeah.
Now open your hand, unclasp and clasp it again with your left over right.
The
other way around.
अच्छा.
Right? पहले आपका right over left था ना?
अभी left
you
है.
left over right है.
जी.
Okay. is it feeling slightly different, slightly uncomfortable?
Yes, it is.
It is. Is it wrong?
Of course. Why would it be wrong?
Exactly. Exactly. Both are right. Left over right is also correct, and right over left is also correct.
Yeah.
Both are just in life. Now, using an example I've shown that there's more than one correct answer. But the education system today does not allow it.
Yes.
And if it doesn't allow it, how are our children growing up?
With the mindset
With what?
of rigidity.
Rigidity. Correct? And falsehood. It's all wrong. It's all false. Correct? It's different from life. And anything that is wrong is very hard to sustain.
It'll collapse. It is collapsing now.
Yeah. So we are trying to create an environment where children will learn through research. They will have a taste of reality of life, not some illusion or fiction. Correct? And they will pursue what their passion is. Okay. Today, all the kids get the same test in the class. Or if it is board exam, the entire billions of kids are getting the same test. Correct? But are we all the same?
Of course not.
Of course not. We are all unique. Everybody is unique.
It's not possible to be same.
So we are raising our children, trying to use a standardized system when we are all unique.
Correct.
Correct? We are trying to make them fit a mold when they were not born to fit a mold. We are going against the culture of what they were born with. And as a result, we are destroying the creativity of our children.
True.
Correct?
True.
So there's more than one answer, and let them pursue what they want to pursue. So this is what environment we are trying to create. And one of the things that I talk about mainly, I will in this one, neuroplasticity, I've said biomimicry and quantum mechanics, so that I will only touch upon neuroplasticity because we don't have time for the other two. I hope that is okay.
Yes.
So as I said, conventional neuroscience believed that our brains are hardwired, but then over time, there is a technology called fMRI, functional magnetic resonance imaging. Through that, they could actually identify which part of the brain is being activated by a certain stimulus. And they could find out, they could see that in a blind person, the sense of touch and hearing is actually going to the visual cortex. Okay, it is the visual, because the person is blind, the visual cortex is not dormant. And that is how they had to figure that out. Now, one important point is that the human mother is the only one on 2 feet. All the other animals, the mother is on 4 feet. Okay, all other mammals, if you see all other mammals, the mother is on 4 feet. So their pelvis is wider and the birth canal is wider. Okay, because the birth canal is wider, the young one of that species can be born with a reasonably developed brain. Okay, I'll give the example. I give the example of
Hashmukh,
a giraffe.
Just give me 1 second.
Sure.
Yes. Yeah.
So I'll give the example of a giraffe. The giraffe baby is thrown, is when it's born, it falls from the height. The mother giraffe doesn't bend down on the ground. It stands. It gives birth standing. And so the infant giraffe falls from that height. It survives the fall. And then the mother giraffe kicks it so that it can stand up. Okay. And have its first feed. Even for the first feed, the mother giraffe does not bend down. It doesn't sit. The mother giraffe is standing. So the baby giraffe has to stand. it has to have its first feed. And as soon as it has had its first feed, it has to start running. And the mother giraffe is leading the run so that it can be protected from predators. Otherwise, the predators will eat the baby giraffe up. That is the level of development of a baby giraffe. Okay. Now, in the human being, as I said, the mother's pelvis is narrower and the birth canal is narrower. But at birth, the infant has all brain cells it will need for its entire life. Okay, which is 200 billion nerve cells. 200 billion nerve cells. Okay? But if those nerve cells were reasonably developed, the brain would be so big that the baby wouldn't fit through the birth canal.
Correct.
And also the skull of the infant is cartilage. It is not hard bone because the comes out head first. So the only thing that a baby can do at birth is feed and send poop, input and output. That is all it can do. It cannot crawl, it cannot, correct, all those.
Correct.
And then slowly all those, the sight, even the sight is by contrast. Okay. So it knows, for example, that's why the mammary of the mother has a dark space where the baby can feed, because it can only see contrast. It cannot see in detail. So that is how the baby grows. Then slowly the contrast becomes better and it can see, focus better.
True.
Okay? And then what happens is people have donated their babies when they die to science. And then at different ages, they will see how many of the 200 billion nerve cells that the child is born with, how many remain at various ages. Okay. And what they have come to the conclusion is that by the age of 10, only 100 billion nerve cells remain in today's world, which means we lose 50%. Think about it. We are born with 200 billion. We have 100 billion remaining by the age of 10. And then they have, seen after that, the brain cell count remains more or less the same. They have even seen the brains of a 40-year-old that is also close to 100 billion. Okay. But in the first 10 years, we lose 50% of the brain cells. Why? Because of lack of stimuli. See, in today's world, when the child is born, what the parents are telling what the child what. Then when the child goes to school, the teacher is telling the child what. Some other adults are telling the child what. Nobody is asking the child, what do you want to do? You understand what I'm saying?
I understand.
The child is not given an opportunity to explore its own curiosity. And we already said that each one of us is born unique and different. So if we are not giving an opportunity to identify the uniqueness and the unique abilities of the child, then those brain cells will go dormant.
True. If they don't get enough stimulus, so they don't make the neural connections, and so it starts dying, right? It stops making connection.
Yes. At the time when the child is an adult, okay. What happened?
I think I lost you in between somewhere.
Yeah, okay. So it is a child-centric learning space. Where we give the children opportunity to explore their curiosity, not our curiosity. Okay. Today, you go and ask people, okay, what do you want to become when you grow up? And the child is already has been doctored by the parents or the teachers or somebody. I want to become a doctor or a lawyer or an engineer.
So
Correct?
true.
No, the child, what you want to do? What are your abilities? And to be honest, by the time the child is 10, the child doesn't know. It doesn't have to know.
Correct, correct. What is the pressure? क्यों जानना है? Why do you have to know by 10?
Yeah, correct. They are still exploring all the possibilities.
Exactly.
And
Yeah.
they have not yet come to even basic awareness of what their abilities are and what they want to pursue.
Yeah, who they are, what they are, what is
Yeah.
so many things. Yeah.
So that is the whole focus of the environment. We want to start with children by the age of 4, and 4 because by the time they are 4, they can take care of their food and going to the toilet and having a bath and all those things. They can take care of themselves. They're
And
not on diapers by then.
and parents are with them there, or
They have the choice of being with the child, or it can be a boarding facility, but it is residential.
okay, all right.
It is not a key thing. It is not because then we are confusing the child. During here, we are giving them all the freedom. And once they go home, they have freedom.
It's all the same.
Correct?
Yeah.
So then they're watching television and all the other junk things and getting influenced by what is there. Then it begins in the child.
Yeah, of course. Yes, yes.
It's a program. The parents can, and today is with working ability to work online. Parents can also work from, correct? Like for example, here I've got 100 megabits fiber internet.
Good.
And then they can also work from here.
Okay, that's nice.
Now, going back, the first language that you learned or Adi learned, right? At what age did you learn to speak?
Maybe 2.5, maybe. I don't know. I'm not sure what age I started speaking.
Or Adi, for example, your son, you were there,
right? Adi started speaking. He started like mumbling around 1 year, 1.5 years. Yeah.
Right. Now, so you would have started putting words together and so on. To learn that, did he go to a school?
No, of course not.
Did he have a tuition class?
No.
Right? Did he watch any YouTube videos?
Nothing. No.
So you understand what I'm saying? Where I'm getting? So how did he learn? So I'm calling this OLA, OLLA. Observe. He was observing. You're speaking or the other.
Correct. Yes.
What and all that stuff. Listen. He listened. Try to listen to what was saying, observing, listening.
Yes.
Then he learned.
Yes.
He started with blah, 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 and then he started mama or papa or all those things.
Correct.
Observe, listen, learn, and apply. And then he applied it. And then he put two together and all that
things
stuff.
Together, yes. Right? Correct.
Now, he did all this without ever going to school, without ever going to tuition class, without ever watching a YouTube video. Why can't we learn like this for the rest of our life? You understand what I'm saying?
Yes. because we think that everything is planned for us. The schools, the colleges, think they know the best. And so parents start going after schools and college and think that they know what they are teaching. This is going to make my child an engineer and a doctor, and this is the only way. So that's the problem.
So we are trying to create a space where children will use OLA all the time.
Amazing.
Right? And using that, they will explore their curiosity and hopefully retain more than 100 billion nerve cells by the age of 10.
Wow.
Correct? So that is the whole effort out here.
That is beautiful.
Yeah. So
Hashmukh ji, we have 5 more minutes. So I don't think so. I'm just enjoying this talk too much. So we can have another session whenever you're available. Like we'll just continue for 5 more minutes and then just let us know when you will be available next and we'll do another call. Yeah.
So that is the space we are trying to create.
Yeah.
As I just touched upon one topic. So if you want, we can schedule the next one. Today is what? Today is Tuesday. This week being Ganesh Chaturthi week, I would have time because
okay.
Most of the markets and all that are closed and people are busy with Ganesh Chaturthi.
Yeah, we'll discuss about the time. We'll discuss on WhatsApp so we can. Okay. No worries about that. Yeah.
So that is the space I'm trying to create where we will let the children explore their curiosity, not our curiosity. And in the process, they will learn, they will find out what they are gifted with. Every child is gifted, what their gifts are. Then they can pursue their gifts. They can explore first, pursue their gifts, and they can see how we can apply this. So we want the children to be good at creative problem solving.
Okay.
And if they can do good creative problem solving, I can bet you they will never go hungry. The world is full of problems, and the world is in need of good problem solving.
Absolutely, absolutely.
And we want our children, the question was, what do you want your child to be when they grow up? We want our children to be happy, healthy, and harmonious. That's it. They can be a janitor, or they can be president somewhere. It really doesn't matter. If you are happy, healthy, and harmonious, money and all that stuff is secondary. Now, today in this world, there are people who are millionaires, okay, but they're unhappy. I only have 1 million. That fellow is 10 million. So they're going after the 10 million guy. Right? They're unhappy. And in the process, they are working 14, 18 hours a day. They are eating unhealthy. They are not having, they are skipping lunch and all that stuff. So they are unhealthy.
Correct.
And working all this in their pursuit of going from 1 million to 10 million, if anybody comes in the middle, they are kicking them. Right? So hate them. They are not harmonious. So neither are they happy, nor are they healthy, nor are they harmonious. All the thing is they're after is money.
Correct. Yes.
There is this saying, right? There is this thing which you must have heard. People are buying things they know they don't need with money they don't have to impress people they don't like.
Yes, that makes so much sense. Yes.
And that is what the world is doing today. Now the question is, do we want our children to get into that rat race?
Of course not.
So that is the whole thing. So what we are trying to do here in this learning and space is we want our children to be happy, healthy, and harmonious. And in that process, they will pursue their interest, not our interest. And so long as they can meet their basic needs and, as I said, creative problem solving, we are very sure that they will never go hungry. And not only that, they will be an asset to the world. That is what we are trying to do. So it's a very simple thing. So people ask me, oh, if every child is individual, how will you cater to that? I'm saying, I'm not catering. The child is driving their own learning. Today, we are driving their learning. And in the process, they're destroying their ability to learn. If the child is guiding their own learning, then now, for example, parents ask, what is the curriculum? I mean, I don't know. The child will decide what the curriculum is.
Yes.
I am the facilitator. I'm creating a space so that the child can learn whatever it wants to learn. That is my job, is to give it space. But what it wants to learn, let the child decide. And then what if the child gets bored? Why will the child get bored? Because the child is curious, is born curious. And if we give the opportunity to explore his curiosity, the child will never get bored. In fact, it will do things that will amaze us.
That you would have never thought of.
That we would have never thought of. And that is what we want. Right? We want the children to surprise us. But today, the surprise is taken as a negative. I didn't want you to do this. I wanted you to do that. And you're not doing that.
Exactly. When, especially in art classes, it does happen that you tend to create something which is coming from your own creativity. And a facilitator tells you that this is not what I wanted you to create. What have you done? It happens all the time. Hashmukh, thank you. We are running out of time, but we will discuss our time and we will come back again, because I think this is the most rich learning that I can get from you. And I think viewers will love this. So we'll get back again. All right?
Okay.
All right then. All right.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye.
Thank you so much for being here. Bye-bye.
You're welcome.